Did you know that a kingdom in West Africa had an army composed entirely of women?
For centuries, across the African continent, women have defied expectations, commanded armies, and led rebellions against colonial powers. Their stories, often sidelined in mainstream history, reveal a legacy of extraordinary strength, strategic brilliance, and unwavering dedication to their people.
This is the story of Africa's forgotten female warriors.
We begin in the kingdom of Dahomey, in present-day Benin. Here, from the 17th to the late 19th centuries, a unique all-female military regiment known as the Agoji, also called the Mino or Minon, struck fear into the hearts of their enemies.
The Dahomey Amazons.
Their origins trace back to King Hugbaja, who reigned around 1645. He formed a group of female elephant hunters called the Gbedo, tasked with hunting the most valuable and difficult game. Later, in the early 1700s, Queen Hangbi, sister of King Akaba, expanded the regiment after her brother's death. Some historians whisper that Akaba's death was not entirely natural, positioning Hangbi as a key figure in the Mino's rise.
But whatever their origins, the Amazons became an integral part of Dahome's military might. They consisted of various regiments, huntresses, riflewomen, reapers, archers, and gunners.
Armed with Winchester rifles, clubs, and knives, they were a force to be reckoned with. In 1851, under the command of Sedonghongbe, a force of 6,000 Amazons attacked the Abeokuta fortress. Even in 1892, against the French, they numbered 2,000 strong. The Amazons were formally married to the king but remained virgins, seen as almost superhuman, set apart from regular women. After their first kill, they were considered men, and men were even required to part the streets for them on pain of death. Their war chant echoed their transformation, as the blacksmith takes an iron bar and by fire changes its fashion, so have we changed our nature.
We are no longer women, we are men.
Their courage and effectiveness on the battlefield helped Dahomey dominate the region.
But the kingdom's success was also tied to the slave trade, a darker side often omitted from heroic portrayals.
The Amazons played a role in raiding for slaves, which were used to pay tribute to the Oyo Empire. Now, we journey north, to what is now Nigeria, to meet Queen Amina of Zaria. She ruled the Hausa city-state of Zaza, now Zaria, from around 1549. For 34 years, she was a force of nature. She commanded an army of 20,000 men and led them on numerous conquests, expanding Zaria's territory as far as Nupe and Kwara-Rafa. Queen Amina was not only a military leader but also a skilled architect. She is credited with building the strong walls around Zaria, which not only protected the city but also boosted its trade and military power for decades.
Her legacy endures in Hausa oral tradition and pageantry.
Moving south to Angola, we encounter Queen Zinga, a name synonymous with resistance against Portuguese colonialism. She ruled Ndongo and Matamba from 1624 and fought relentlessly against the Portuguese for 40 years until 1663, forging alliances with the Dutch to strengthen her position.
Nzinga was a brilliant diplomat and military strategist.
She understood the importance of alliances and used her diplomatic skills to play the European powers against each other. She was also a master of guerrilla warfare, leading her troops in hit-and-run attacks against the Portuguese. Even into her 80s, she remained a formidable opponent, a symbol of Angolan resistance. Her defiance thwarted Portuguese expansion and the spread of slavery in the region for decades. Let's now cross the continent to Ghana, to meet Yasantua, an Ashanti queen mother who led the War of the Golden Stool against the British in 1900. When the British demanded the Golden Stool, the sacred symbol of Ashanti power, Yasantua rallied the Ashanti people with a powerful speech: "If you, the men of Ashanti, will not go forward, then we will.
We, the women, will."
Her call to arms ignited a fierce
rebellion that challenged British control. Although the Ashanti ultimately lost the war, Yasantua's courage and leadership inspired future generations of anti-colonial activists. Though the speech's exact wording is debated, its spirit resonates throughout Ashanti oral tradition. From Ghana to Zimbabwe,
We meet Nyanda Mbuya, a Shona spirit medium who led resistance against Cecil Rhodes' British South Africa Company in the 1890s. She was a powerful spiritual leader who inspired her people to fight for their land and freedom. During the Kyamurenga Uprising of 1896 to 1897, Nyanda was a key figure, encouraging her followers to resist the colonial invaders. Captured and executed in 1898, her final words, "My bones will rise," became a prophecy of future liberation struggles.
Even in death, Nyanda became a symbol of Zimbabwean resistance.
Finally, let's travel back in time to ancient Kush, in modern-day Sudan, to meet Queen Amanirenas. Around 25 BC, she led the armies of Meroe against the Roman Empire. She was a fierce warrior queen who commanded her troops in battle, even after losing an eye in combat.
Amanirenas' campaigns forced the Romans to negotiate a favorable peace treaty, preserving Kushite independence. These women, and countless others like them, challenged gender norms in male-dominated societies.
They filled military gaps created by the devastating impact of the slave trade, particularly in kingdoms like Dahomey. Their actions terrified Europeans, who often labeled them Amazons after the mythical Greek warriors. Their stories resonate in modern Africa. The Dahomey Amazons inspired the 2022 film The Woman King, sparking renewed interest in Benin's history and culture. Yaa Asantewaa is celebrated as a national hero in Ghana, with annual festivals and statues honoring her legacy.
Nyanda's spirit continues to inspire Zimbabwe's liberation movements. Queen Amina's story influences Nigerian feminism. Queen Zinga is featured on Angolan currency and monuments.
These figures are anchors in Pan-African women's empowerment narratives, cited in military training and International Women's Day events.
The narratives surrounding these warriors are not without controversy.
The origins of the Dahomey Amazons are debated, with some questioning Queen Hangbi's role.
The Amazons' involvement in the slave trade is often downplayed.
Western accounts often exaggerated their ferocity, while ignoring the broader societal inequalities.
Colonial records often dismissed Nyanda's spiritual authority as mere witchcraft.
The authenticity of Yaa Asantewa's famous speech has also been questioned, though Ashanti oral tradition upholds its spirit. Despite these controversies, the legacy of these African women warriors remains powerful. They are reminders that women have always been at the forefront of resistance, leadership, and change. By reclaiming their stories, we honor their courage, their brilliance, and their enduring impact on African history and the world.